Hello, hello, and good evening. It is Thursday, so happy Thursday, everyone. Just Catherine Beasley coming to you with her latest episode um, regarding why I do what I do. Right, a discussion of common what I now know are common behavioral changes in people who live with Alzheimer's that I did not know at the time. And so, what drove me initially to learn more about Alzheimer's in general, as I've mentioned probably before, is I needed to have a better understanding of what it is that my mom was going through, how the disease was affecting her, so that I can become a better caregiver for her. In essence, that's the whole gist of it. And then there's some other pieces like this one that I will share. I'm not necessarily most proud of, but another driving factor was I started to feel, and I even said out loud to someone that my mom wasn't very kind. I realized it, right? So I went away to high school for 4 years, boarding school in Wellesley, Massachusetts. Shout out Dana Hall and all of my Dana Hall peeps. And so from a young age, ninth grade on, I've technically been out of the house and only coming back every vacation, right? Back home to be there for a short amount of time. And then I'd go away and be away at school for right the rest of the school year. And then I had the summers that I was home. So I've been used to being away and didn't spend a lot of time right at my mom's feet, right? When we were younger, even when I did live at home, my mom was a barmaid, the terminology used at that time, and she worked the second shift. So I'd go to school in the morning, I'd see her for a quick amount of time, and then she'd be at work from 4 to 10, and then 10 on until, by the time I was asleep, she would then come home. So I didn't get to spend too much time with my mom growing up. But what I did know is, although she could be sassy, she was always kind and she always wanted to help others. One of the things that was really great about her funeral is hearing how the impact that she had on other people's lives. I think it's definitely why I am the way that I am, even though I didn't know that. And so, um, and so having her come to live with me to care for her and experiencing her not be very nice and not be very nice to me at times, or saying things that I felt like, wow, I just didn't spend a lot of time with her because I didn't know she was like that, right? And so I felt some kind of way about feeling that way about my mom because, like I said, she's very kind, very giving, and she really wasn't that way that I ever saw before. And so, in taking the courses and getting the certification to learn more about Alzheimer's and dementia, I realized that there's some key changes to personality that may happen, right? They get agitated more often, they have anxiety, right, with the confusion and things. But one of the side effects is that they can then have less of a filter, one, and two, just really be unkind and say whatever they're feeling at that moment without the filter. Maybe just say something just to be saying it, right? The way that their brain is affected also can affect their sense of decorum and understanding what they should and shouldn't say to people, how they're saying things that and what they're saying that could be harmful, hurtful to the person, right? So I didn't like feeling like that about my mom, and I was looking for an excuse as to why she was that way. And so that is why I then took the certifications to learn more about Alzheimer's because, again, once I know more, then I can actually take the time to step back from the situation because, I will tell you even, don't take it personally. This is just a phase. They don't know what they're doing, right? So you have to step above or rise above and kind of let it wash over you, right? Or put on an extra layer of Teflon because there will be times. And it's not that easy. So having a better understanding of what's going on in their minds makes it a little bit easier. And I'll say this and I'll say it this way very often, right, Cedra? It is amazingly hard to always have to turn off being a person in essence to account for what they're going through and in their behaviors that may not feel the best for you, right? So it was important for me to learn that information so that I could reframe the conversations that I have with my mom. It's not always easy to feel like, oh, she didn't mean that or she doesn't mean it the way it came out. And if I'm honest, I knew that she didn't, but I still got affected by it. And sometimes I would probably respond not in kind, but right, I not want to engage anymore, right? And so I'd be like, okay, I'm going to bed. Like I've had enough. I've peopled with you enough, ma'am, and now you're being mean. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to bed, right? And then the behavior it changed. It was like she was a Sour Patch Kid. So one minute she'd do something, and then when my demeanor changed, then she was quick to say, "You know, I didn't mean it like that." And I'm just like, "But you said it like that," and that was me talking to someone and potentially going back and forth with them when that's not her. She's not there. She didn't mean it that way, so she doesn't understand why I'm taking it that way, etc. So one of the things that I want for you and why I have created my program and why I'm talking to you each day is because I want to help you get past those feelings, or at least to get a better understanding of those feelings ahead of time, so that you won't feel what I felt when I had those experiences with my mom. They don't necessarily mean it. If your mom or dad or whomever you're caring for was mean before, you're going to get mean now, right? Unless something happens and it tones them down some, right? But chances are you may encounter some moments when your parent or whomever you're caring for is more difficult than what they were before. They are not as kind. And you have to make concessions for that behavior, but understand that in most cases it is not them, it is the disease. So being able to learn some ways to regulate yourself, but also to help to reframe things and to reset them, right? How do you de-escalate situations? How do you make them more comfortable? How do you, right? It's about them. It's not about us at this stage as caregivers, not when we're dealing directly with them. What's about us is external from that person, as how I looked at it. And so just take the time to understand that sometimes it's not your loved one. Give yourself the grace to feel what you feel because your feelings are valid, but understand that they didn't intend to be mean for the most part, or it depends on your loved one. I will say that and admit it. But me gaining that understanding made me also better able to be present at the moment with her and to not take things personally or as personally. And if I did, I'd get over it a lot more quickly, and to provide better care for her too. Because again, if I understand certain triggers to certain behavior, then I know how to not do those things that trigger that behavior, or if I see it happening, I know how to then redirect or to de-escalate the situation. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Let me know in the chat, in the comments that you're watching replay, and let me know any situations that you've encountered with your loved ones that have prompted you to maybe want to learn more, or that you recognize based on what it is that I'm talking about. I'd love to hear from you, love to help you if I can. So reach back out. Bye.